Hi everyone, just wanted to make a light-hearted video on post-labor economics. In 5 to 10 years from now, in an AI-driven economy, how do you participate? You're going to want to create and share value with other people. Ergo, it's not just a blockchain or an ecosystem, it's an on-ramp. And if you have a few $100s, you can buy a GPU and you can mine Ergo. And you can use that to access the Ethereum ecosystem or the Solana ecosystem. And these are going to be massive economic engines of growth. Right now, we are seeing the institutional adoption of Bitcoin. Michael Saylor has written a playbook on this. Cash is being devalued, so businesses are buying Bitcoin, signaling this to the market, and their shares are going up. Selling shares, buying back Bitcoin. This is creating a game theory and a loop, and creating institutional adoption of Bitcoin. Now, he who has the gold writes the rules. Bitcoin is not becoming peer-to-peer money for people, it's becoming digital gold for institutions. And that is creating a very interesting dynamic. So crypto is going to carry on, it's going to see its growth, that's for sure. But as a participant, you want to be mindful of how you go about things. When people say, do your research, you want to delve into the architecture of the protocols, and you want to say to yourself, what are the key components of these protocols, and how does that play out over time? If you're here for the long term, that is. For example, if you have a centralized blockchain, the way I look at the architecture is, I look at it and I think to myself, over 1 to 2 decades, if it's successful, there's going to be 2 main attack vectors. That's going to be from outside. So if you have a $1 trillion market cap blockchain, the incentive is going to be very high to take it down. And also from the inside players to basically extract value from its users. You know, that's another thing, which is a bit more subtle, but it's there as well. So it's just something you want to be mindful of. But just want to say, you know, there are certain qualities to each blockchain. So, you know, there's not just one way to go about that. I want people to basically be mindful that as things change and there's an adoption of Bitcoin, I believe the narrative will try to browbeat people that this is the way. And they will try to gentrify it. But I think this is the wrong way to go. Now, obviously, decentralization comes with responsibility. You have to do a lot of legwork, and you have to understand things. And for some people, they'll be on a certain adoption curve where, you know, absolutely, you know, the safe asset will be the way to go. But at the same time, we need to protect the ethos, and we need to be mindful as participants on how we can go about things. Ironically, Bitcoin is about decentralization, and I feel like the most robust and powerful thing is to have a family of protocols which are decentralized, because this creates a dynamic which is very healthy. It creates complements and competitiveness in the industry, and it's just to the benefit of everyone, and it can just avoid monopolies. So tying it back to participation, just be mindful that there's many ways to participate. For example, if someone has a gaming PC, that little black box with the silicon, you know, in that black box, that is an on-ramp. And I just want people to think more laterally instead of just like horizontally in terms of their own opportunities, and think about where things are going and how they can find new opportunities. Productivity over the last 4 decades has increased, and wages has not followed suit, and assets have increased in value. The reason why I make this key point is because if things continue, AI is going to make us more productive. However, how are we going to be able to capture the benefits of that productivity? One way is by learning about that, by using these tools for ourselves and thinking about how we are more entrepreneurial, how we are participants of things going forward. So, you know, you can play video games and you can just have your blinders on, that's fine, you know. Or you can think to yourself, okay, how am I going to, how am I just going to utilize some things a little bit more into my advantage? It's no knock at video games. I love video games. But, I just wanted to make a rhetorical point, is all. Anyway, I hope this has been of value to some people. And please participate. Put some feedback in the comment section. I'm going to read everything. And I want to keep this conversation going. There's a lot of attributes to Ergo, which I think is very, very interesting as a blockchain. And I'm going to explore over time. But this is just one thing I wanted to highlight. So I hope people found it informative, and please just share it with people and leave some feedback. Thank you very much.